How dare you dive into content and be immediately successful? How
Dude,
dare you?
If you have an interface that's been made within the last few years, you almost have no excuses, really.
Basically.
And honestly, it's gotten to a point of where your weakest link is now your preamp and microphone, and that is it. Like, it's nuts how good inexpensive microphones have gotten.
You're right. I think this could be the cheat code for every company.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's still space for new creators all the time?
Yes, without hesitation, yes. Here. So here is...
Well, Andrew, pumped to have you back on the podcast.
Oh my God.
Man.
We're recording a podcast.
I know.
This
It's
is
crazy,
amazing.
dude. We're here
Yes.
together in person.
It's
I
happening.
can touch you. Look at this.
We're touching.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
This is not fake. This is not AI
This
or anything.
isn't AI.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Oh my God,
We
humans.
did it. This is your third time. Welcome back to the Andrew and Andrew podcast.
Yes, the Andrew and Andrew podcast.
This is the third time. If you want to go back and listen to more about Andrew, we've actually done an entire podcast already about all of your history and everything like that.
Yeah.
And you actually just did one with Brad from the studio.
Yep.
A lot about that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So if you want a more updated version of that, that will also be out. I don't know if it'll be out before and after about this, but it'll be out around probably the same time.
Yes.
Dude, very pumped to have you back.
Pumped to be here.
I have things to talk about.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Oh my goodness. I have a notebook.
That
Look at
is-
this. Look at this.
I can't wait to get into this
I have an
notebook.
entire notebook. So first thing I want to kind of get into with you is that how dare you dive into content and be immediately successful? How
Dude.
dare you?
Immediately, I don't know.
Within like 2 or 3 videos for real.
Well, yeah, okay. So TikTok
Yeah.
was a grind, but that was also me learning how to talk into a camera.
That, and also you were kind of just doing that for fun.
Yeah.
I always viewed that as like, because me and you kind of did it at the same time. I always viewed that as like, we're just doing it for fun, just to
Connect with people.
people. Yeah.
Maybe talk to an artist or two.
hot takes here and there, all that kind of stuff. We weren't like
Yeah.
actually trying like a lot of our peers were.
Exactly. Yeah, it was more fun for sure. But like, so that was what I did at first.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
my whole thing was like, I'm just going to release a ton of TikTok videos all at once.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think you were one of the first like few hundred that followed me on TikTok.
Yeah, because you made a really cool video about, I don't know if it was a mic or a pre or something like that. And I was like, this guy knows his stuff. I'm following him. This is really
Nice.
cool.
Yeah. and like, so like that was TikTok for like
Yeah.
a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And then I decided to go over to YouTube. And then I was just like, you know what? It'd be fun if I just yapped about interfaces for 45 minutes.
You did what I did.
And-
that video that blew up on TikTok
yeah.
for me
Oh,
was
right.
the Focusrite video.
Right.
And then you did it on YouTube.
Oh my God.
And it worked for you. Guys, listen here first. If you want to blow up, just talk crap about Focusrite.
I get, well, yeah. No, I didn't talk that much
You
crap
didn't even
about
talk that much
Focusrite.
crap.
I think I talked crap. It wasn't even talking crap, but it was like the Audient Evo interface.
Yeah.
It was the first interface, and it was just a tier list. And I was like, I'm going to put this one in the lower tier. And everybody
People
was like,
lost their mind. Yeah.
they're like, how dare you? It's 24-bit.
it's Audient.
And I'm like, yeah, it sure is. And I was like, and that was just one of those moments where I was like, not that my goal is to rage bait people
But it worked.
by any means, but I think a lot of people saw that and they were like, oh, he's not just pushing stuff on us. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not just going to move everything to the high tiers and then be like affiliate links below.
Yeah.
So like that was, I think, one of the things that struck, a chord with some people.
For
but
sure.
I will also say I have just as many haters from a lot of those videos as well.
I got a lot of subscribers, not to my YouTube channel, but to like my TikTok and my Instagram account, because I think the video I posted, and I think you saw it, which was the one about some guy saying like, all you need is
Yeah.
your,
Was
it was like a preamp to fix your Focusrite
Okay,
or something
yeah.
like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, that doesn't fix the problem, because at that time, now let me be very clear. At that time, it was the Gen 2 or Gen 3 Focusrite. We had not hit Gen 4, which had fixed a lot of the problems that I had with that interface. And I was like, that's not going to change the main issue, which is that the A to D and the Focusrites, especially the Gen 3, were awful.
Sure.
It was so bad.
And so there was a couple of things wrong with that. Number two was he plugged a microphone into a preamp, which I think was a Warm Audio Tone Beast.
Yeah,
fine.
that one.
Those are actually good. I like those preamps.
Sure.
But then he went out of the Tone Beast into the Focusrite using an XLR cable,
which didn't fix the issue.
Which is, if you don't know, because this is already bordering like too niche.
Yeah.
But like if
now,
you
this
didn't
is our
know,
people. These are our people.
These are our people. If you use these XLR cables, it will always, in you're plugging an XLR into an interface, it will always engage the mic input.
Mm-hmm.
And so essentially, if you're saying like, oh, you know what, I'm going to use my own preamp. No, you're not. What you're actually doing is it's the equivalent of recording a sound that is another sound. You're just making a recording of that other preamp with the less good preamp.
It would be the equivalent of me calling somebody on the phone, putting them on speaker, and then putting it up to this microphone.
Exactly. The thing I always say is it's like you go to an art gallery and you see this wonderful photograph on the wall and you say, oh, that's nice. And then you look at the photo that you just took on your phone. Is it the same photo? Kinda.
Yeah,
you could see everything in there, you know?
It's in the it's a photo in the sense.
It's a photo, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
And it's also, it's not going to be mounted on the wall. It's not going to have the lighting. You're not going to have the same experience, but you know what? It is the same photo in a way.
In a way.
And so like that was the thing that was happening.
You know, for sure. And so I got a lot of haters from that one. And then
people are quick to hate.
Well, people love their Focusrites, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and that's the other thing is that people will be like, this is the piece of gear that I own.
And you're talking
and you're
crap about
making
it.
a personal attack to me.
Now listen, I will say,
like,
I will
wow.
not even rescind my statement because that generation of Focusrite is trash, in my opinion. But the newer ones,
the Gen 4,
they fixed a lot of the problems I had with it, which was mostly the A to D. Like it sounds way better now.
I've always had a beef with like Focusrite Scarlett preamps.
Yeah,
and
they changed the preamps on that one too, didn't they?
I think they're all like every generation has had slightly different preamps, but at least because I haven't used the Gen 4 yet, but all of the generations of preamp pretty much kind of had the same problem, which is
I think the Gen 4's got the same as the what's the line above
the Clarets. It's not the Clarets. It's still a Scarlett branded preamp, but it is new and it does have like console
maybe
integrated.
The A to D is what they got from the
So
Clarets.
that is the trickle down. And I actually was talking with someone at Focusrite recently, and they were saying that there is a trickle down that they use for their like stuff. And so the conversion that just got put into the 2i2s and like all
Gen
the Scarlett
4s.
stuff, all the Gen 4 Scarlett stuff is the RedNet converters.
which are the good ones. Those are the great ones.
You used to only like if you wanted to make something amazing, you would get RedNet converters and you would pay the $5,000.
Yeah, they're stupid expensive.
Yeah, just 16 IO or something.
Literally just the A to D.
It's just the A to D, and that's now in your Scarletts.
Yeah, which is
incredible
for the cost of that. Is incredible. Now, I want to see like preamp bypass.
Okay. Even more exciting. So, and again, this is because I was recently talking.
You just talked to these people recently.
To these people.
You're the gear guy now.
Oh my God, I'm a gearhead, which is great.
Well, you've always been the gear guy. But
I like gear.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Focusrite just came out with the C8X. Have you seen this?
I have not.
They put the ISA preamp in that interface.
Whoa.
Actual transformer balanced Lundal transformers in channels 1 and 2 of that interface.
That makes that like a way more viable, like
and I am
mid-range.
And I am going to do a review on that interface.
I'm very excited to see that.
I am excited to try it.
Do you have an ISA like channel strip
to
compare it against? Because that would be really nice.
I have an ISA 2 that is in the hands of a friend of mine and has been for like a year.
Get that back.
I'm hoping I can.
That would be great. Well, if you could compare that to an actual like either channel strip or preamp or something, like that would be great.
As far as I know, it's like circuit to circuit. It is the exact same as an ISA. It actually has the Lundal transformers. Everything is the exact same. So
That's pretty impressive, actually.
it is.
Hey, shots
that's
to
also
Focusrite.
why it's like a bigger. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a 2U rack space.
I haven't seen it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really cool.
And they do have insert send and return, so you can bypass those preamps if you want, as well as line inserts on every single preamp channel. You can get up to, I think, 8 ins, but they also give you 10 dedicated line outputs for
ADAT?
hybrid mixing and ADAT on top of that.
See, that's a seller right there.
Honestly, I
That's
was like
pretty dope.
literally
That kind of fixes like every issue
and
that
even though
I
I
have
was-
with the cheaper ones, and I'm sure it'll be more expensive than.
it's like $3,000 or $2,200 or something.
But still,
Don't quote me on that.
But
Yeah.
still, that's like if you like the Focusrite sound,
Yeah.
that's the one.
And it's so important to also say this. I'm not sponsored by Focusrite. This is not a commercial for Focusrite, all kind of stuff. But it is exciting that they have literally, like, it's almost like they listen to every one of the complaints of all of my professional peers and myself. And they're like, how about if we do this?
And then fix all of those problems. Now,
and then-
definitely make it more expensive, but
Right. And then it's also going to be this pretty blue and gold color. And it's like,
I'm a sucker for the look. The ISA look, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
kind of a sucker for it.
It's pretty cool.
I will say it is cool to see the 2-channel interface almost have like it maybe in a both positive and negative way, have like a massive boom in the recent years.
Yeah.
Like I've seen Neve come out with some. I've seen SSL come out with some. I've seen we're talking about Focusrite coming out with some. But even then, like I've seen Antelope just do a new redesign on. They have a new 2-channel interface that looks amazing.
And with the Antelope interface, trickle down of a lot of their technology to the same preamps that are in the Discrete series, which is what you use. Yeah, I use the Discrete 8. And like I use like external preamps,
and I think
like
those
99% of the time, but nonetheless,
those are the same as the Orions as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. So it's like they're actually like discrete transistor coupled preamps, which is again for an interface preamp, that's pretty solid.
And those new ones are like $200, dude, $300.
It is pretty crazy.
That's like it's dumb cheap.
How good gear has gotten over the past few years is just insane.
Dude, I never thought I would see, because like me and you come from a very similar era of gear as it progressed through this whole thing. And it's very interesting for me to see, like, back in the day, you know, I get it. I started on a Focusrite. You also get like your M audio interface or whatever. And like that was still like $400 or $500.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God. Yeah.
because it came with Pro Tools a lot of the time. And if you were
The old
depending,
inbox.
yeah.
Yeah.
I say depending on how early you were, it was the inbox, which was required to even use your Pro Tools. So you had to have the inbox or whatever, which was stupid. And
They had, was that like pre-Digidesign? I don't remember what it was, but like it was, there were only certain interfaces that you could use.
That you used with Pro Tools, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was because of Digidesign.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And it's like, the Digio 2
Yes.
was like another one of those interfaces.
Yeah. You had like, that was the first like rack mounted interface.
And it was huge.
and gray
And
weird
gray.
looking.
It looked, oh God, what was it? Josh said this on the podcast that we did 2 years ago.
Quite literally 2 years ago.
Where we were talking about RME and he was like, and they're ugly. And he was like, because they look like they came out of the computer lab. And I was like, the Digio 2. It looks like it came out of the computer lab.
It does look like it looked like it was birthed from Tron from that era.
Yeah, which no shade to RME.
No.
They're amazing interfaces, but they
do look like they were birthed out of a computer.
out of a late 90s computer lab. 100%.
You're right.
Yeah.
But like those, to see that, and like not even just the walls built around a lot of those things, but also like how much they cost, to now we're talking about like actual pro level A to D and preamps and compression and like everything built into a box for $250.
It's so good now that it's one of those things where it's like, if you have an interface that's been made within the last few years, you almost have no excuses, really.
Basically.
And honestly, it's gotten to a point of where your weakest link is now your preamp and microphone, and that is it. Which is not far to go.
And even then, it's like
some of the inexpensive microphones are getting so good.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the built-in interface preamps are getting so good.
Like the Antelope stuff.
Like
Well,
the
I mean, and I
Antelope.
think Antelope is probably going to give people a run for their money as far as that, because some of that stuff goes.
They've got some issues to overcome.
Software-wise, especially.
Like software, and like I think that there was also a reputation, which I was not aware of until I made my review on the Discrete 8. And it was like a review that was like, hey, I've been using Antelope stuff for years. This is why I like it. And a lot of people were just like, yeah, they're like the worst company as far as like customer service goes. And like people just have constant issues and drivers crashing. And I was like, I never had issues with that.
I've heard of that from other people. I've never experienced that. Honestly, we need to talk to Brad about that, because he would have been the one to experience that a lot more, because he runs a large format studio with the Orion. So.
And I also think that like, it was also older generation Antelopes that had that.
Yeah, I bet newer stuff is like less of an issue.
The newer stuff is also less of an issue. But also the other thing that happened during that time is that a lot of people moved over to Apple Silicon as well. And so maybe that transition may have had a hiccup or something. I don't know. I can only guess.
That actually I remember that causing a lot of problems for me.
Yeah.
Plug-in manufacturers were very slow.
There was a few months during my switch over to my very first M1, like Mac Mini or whatever it was. It was an amazing computer, but there was a few months where things were just a little
or
finicky.
Slow, or took up more space than it needed to,
or needed to be reinstalled, or
like 4 times.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah,
super annoying.
I waited a bit to change. So, but I ended up even when I waited like 8 months before I switched over to a Silicon computer, and it still had those problems. So I'm sure a lot of that was that. But it is amazing to see like that stuff. Like you're talking about like the mics. Like mics have gotten so much not cheaper, but like, inexpensive. And you're right. It's like the quality of what people are wanting to make kind of comes down to like, hey, do you have like $500 and a lot of creativity? You can kind of do it.
Yeah. And like, okay, so for the mic thing specifically too, like I will be the first to admit I was kind of out of the game with inexpensive mics for a long time.
Dude, I'm impressed.
Because if I was recording a band, I would be at a studio and I'd be like, should I use the Neumann U47 or should which sounds hoity-toity. Like I understand.
Yeah, I mean we're here. You did a walkthrough of this studio. We showed you all the gear that we have in this studio.
There's some great gear.
It's crazy. We are not starved for choice here.
Exactly. And like one of the things is, and I actually brought this up in the video I made about the U87. It's not that the U87 is the greatest mic that's ever been made. It's just a mic that a lot of people know. And it's become a standard because of that. So if you go into a studio and you're like, I got to mic up a guitar amp, and they've got a bunch of mics that you've never used, that's going to slow you down. You're going to have to listen to things. You might have to do a shootout. Like that can slow down a session.
A lot.
However, if a studio has a U87 and you know where you can put that U87, it's great as a front of kit room mic, or great on a guitar amp, or for the right vocalist, it can be fantastic. Like that kind of, well, there you go. Standard microphone for usage.
Yeah, for sure.
And so because of that, I haven't really chosen some of the less expensive microphones, like the Lauten LA220, for example.
Yeah.
I just recently used that. I think stellar.
Dude, crazy.
Stellar.
Crazy for the price.
Yeah.
We talked about the Lauten stuff that's on the kit here. And
you guys got the new Lauten tom and snare mics and stuff.
Yeah, and I was telling you about the LS, I think it's the 208 or whatever.
Yep.
And dude, like they are punching well above their weight in price. They're
crazy.
And even on that more inexpensive mic they have is like just absolutely like mind-blowing.
And again, not sponsored, but like it is so good.
I would take it though.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, and the Lauten LA120s, the small diaphragm condensers, those are really good too. I have a pair of those now. Like, it's nuts how good inexpensive microphones have gotten, and and the Lewitt stuff is also really good. That punches above its price point,
well above.
Like. And it's, I mean, the criticisms of those microphones are also fair. They can be bright. They can sound brittle on the wrong source or with bad positioning.
I've used $5,000 mics that are that.
I've used Neumann's that are that.
I've literally used an original vintage Telefunken 251 that cost $10,000.
God, no, those cost 30 grand.
Yeah, whatever, $15,000 to $30,000.
Yeah.
One of those that came from Warner Chapel because they sent it to us to use on a session that we were doing in Atlanta and for Teddy Swims. And we used it and it just did not work on the person's voice. And that is like the mic. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't on they use it on Teddy's voice all the time. And it sounds great for him. But we used it on like 2 other people and it sounded terrible on them.
Yeah. The thing about bright microphones is they don't work for everybody, which is the unfortunate truth.
I think that is I would argue that that's 90% of the case of why people don't like some of those microphones.
I agree.
C800, 251, those kind of.
414.
414.
Throw in.
Even some U87 for people who don't like the way the mid-range hits. Like, same kind of thing.
I am one of those people. Like, I like U87 on a vocal, like, if it's a sibilant vocalist, it is not the one that I reach for.
No. Old U87. I think we've had this conversation before.
U87i is a different microphone. Yeah,
I hate it.
You hate the 87i?
I hate the 87i.
Oh, interesting. I'm opposite. Yeah. Like, I don't hate the 87AI. I think it's a fine mic. But like to me, here's the hot take. So get ready, commenters. Okay. Warm up your fingertips because it's coming. The U87AI should cost about $1,500. That's about the sound quality.
I agree with that.
That's about the sound quality that I expect from that mic.
Absolutely agree with that.
$1,200 on sale, right? The TLM 103 should cost about $500, maybe. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of that microphone.
I have a 102. I think I got it for like $500.
I think the 102 is
punches above its weight.
Underrated.
Agreed.
Underrated, and it's really good on instrumentation. On a vocal, maybe
it's okay. I got it for acoustics.
That's what it does really well. Great on a guitar cab too.
I've never tried it. I've never tried it on a guitar cab. Using a lot of plugins these days.
Toms, it also works really well. On a floor tom, it's very punchy, and if it, but it gives you that condenser on tom thing, but it's also super deep thanks to the
I'm glad that you. So I agree with your 87 AI take. Because those are like $4,000, $3,500 mics.
No, it's gone up in price. They're $4,000.
$4,000?
$4,000.
That's too much money for that mic.
It's too much.
It does not sound that good, especially when like you're comparing it to other mics in that same category. Like what a lot in Atlantis or whatever.
Oh yeah,
is like $4,000 or $3,000, something like that.
Atlantis, the Eden's the really expensive one they have.
The really expensive one,
so it's like the Atlantis and the Clarion.
Yeah,
both of those are incredible microphones
for cheaper than that.
For less than that.
Yeah.
And, well, I think less than that, but it's less than the U87AI.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Yeah. Like that's crazy. Those, in my opinion, those sound better than that microphone.
And the reason why the Neumann U87AI is $4,000 is
it's got the U87 name on it.
It's got a story.
Yeah.
This is the microphone that the Rolling Stones used and these guys, and it's the industry standard microphone. And
kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But I get it. And like they made that new C800 that's like way cheaper and it sounds way cheaper and all that kind of stuff.
The C80?
Yeah.
I've not tried it. I get comments almost every day on my videos that are like, it's so good, it beats everything, you should try it.
Here used one and they didn't like it. I think it was Jesse and he didn't really like it.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear more. I'd like to try one eventually. I think I can borrow one at some point.
You should try that. I feel like that would be a good I think it would be a really interesting comparison for you, not to give you content ideas or anything.
Sure.
But taking the biggest knockoffs of the most expensive microphones and shooting those out against each other.
I've done some stuff like that before, similar. Like I did like a U87 shootout and I'm doing like the 1073 shootout and stuff like that. But yeah, that could be fun.
Something in that vein I think would be really interesting. Well,
I would need a room like this to do it, honestly.
Listen, anytime you're in town,
Okay.
We got
drive down 8 hours.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. No, give you an excuse to come to Greenville, bro.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying this podcast episode, you might like my newsletter, The Music Maker's Handbook. In this newsletter, I dissect everything from books, podcasts, YouTube videos, to bring you insights from people across different creative landscapes. It's also a great way to keep up with me, the Home Studio Hangout podcast, and I'm very excited to be showcasing people from the community's projects as well. You can go to the link in the description or go to musicbydrew.com, my website, and sign up there. Now let's get back to the episode.
Talking about like the content creation and all that kind of stuff is like how, when you were kind of first diving into the YouTube side of things, because obviously in the TikTok side of things we talked about is like kind of whatever. When you were diving into the YouTube side of things and trying it out, did you feel like you were just like casting your net into a already fished pond? Like, did you feel like it was like,
no,
like just throwing it into the void of like, is this even going to really matter? Or do you feel like nowadays, especially nowadays, because I feel like I feel defeatist with this sometimes. And then other days I'm like, I see people like yourself, people like other friends of mine have great success on a lot of these things.
Sure.
Do you feel like there's still space for new creators all the time?
Yes, without hesitation. Yes.
Okay.
Here. So here is. Hopefully, I'm not blocking your shot.
Yeah, okay. Camera for you.
Okay. But so actually, you know what? That was kind of comfy. I'm just going to do it.
Go for it.
So I will say this: I think that there is always going to be space for people who are passionate, who know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that is the requirement. And there is no limit, like there's no job that's already been filled. We're not waiting, like you don't fill out the application. Like I would love to create content. Mm-hmm. I would love to be judged by the public. How much does it make per year?
I mean, I also don't know why you would like consciously go into that role.
Yeah, it can be, that can be a beast.
We're slight masochists, Andrew. I don't know if you know this.
Dude, I think that sometimes I'm like, I'm going to say something and I know it's just going to make people mad. But ultimately, like there's this other voice in my head that is thankfully very prominent, which is if we disagree.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic news, because you know what? If I just said that the U87 AI should cost $1,500 and somebody on the other side of these cameras just went, you know what the greatest news in the world is? That our life is so cushy that we can feel passionately about microphone disagreements.
Yeah.
How small is that? And how lucky are we that that's the thing that we get to disagree on? Perspective, right?
Beautiful life.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So with that being said, everybody who knows something about this that can add value, please, oh my God, it weirdly is a space that needs more of that. Like there are some good ones.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to just give a couple shout outs real quick. So English Oak Recording. That dude, Jacob, like I've watched his YouTube channel a good bit. Like he provides a lot of really solid content. And plus his voice is like a warm cup of tea. Like he's just so like calm and confident and like everything. Like he's great. I love that dude. Good channel. Time Preservation Society. Nerdy dude. He loves to just like get into stuff. He's like a buddy of mine. Like, we text every now and then. Like great channel, really good, honest reviews of stuff. Like, so that's great. Andrew Masters' new channel. Yeah. Studio Time.
I've been enjoying that actually.
It's so good.
I've been enjoying that.
It's so good.
I fell into a couple of his videos and now he's in my algorithm because, that's how that works.
And shout out to Andrew Masters. Yeah. Like he was also one of the first people on YouTube to reach out to me.
Really?
And just like offer to like, he kind of like, he was like, I'll like take you under my wing. And he like introduced me to like some people.
That's
and
awesome,
was just
dude.
Like offering support. Like massive, huge.
He's also kind of the OG like studio guy on YouTube.
I know. There's this little voice in the back of my head that's next to the guy that's like microphones don't matter, which is like I was like, I'm doing a studio tour walkthrough. I want to, I was like, I don't want to tread on toes by any means, but I think there's more than enough space.
No, there is more than enough space.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
And but to answer your question, yes, because the YouTube space is now opening up to the point of where it's like a lot of what we were talking about with like the guys on TikTok that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think they're all going to start coming over to YouTube. And when they do, that's where they're going to find, I think, their biggest success.
You think there's going to be a resurgence of like how we had, engineer talk for a while, where it was like really strong, and you had like Shane and Will and you and me and a bunch of these dudes who were like just yapping our heads off about gear and random stuff, and
recording philosophies
and showing like Phil, who I still talk with on a decently regular basis. Like,
nice. That dude makes amazing records. Dude. The Dury record he made recently is so good.
Dude, shout out Phil.
Phil Odom, a fantastic job with the Dury record. Much love for that.
Yeah, crushed it, dude. And like he's got his studio down in Austin, dude.
Yeah, Rad Wolf.
So cool. It's so cool. I need to go to see it. So like all those guys, it would be interesting to see some of them. I don't know if all of them would want to do the heavy lift of YouTube.
It takes time.
It's a pretty heavy lift.
That's the downside. If you do decide to go into content creation, just understand that it takes way longer than you think it does. Like I am producing 1 to 2 videos a week, and there are some weeks where just the content creation side of things takes up way too much time.
Yeah. I would actually love to pick your brain about that as myself, as somebody who's like working on taking that part of what I do seriously, is like, do you feel sometimes that you're like, oh crap, this week is a very good week for me. To be an example, today we have this big content day here. Yeah. Yesterday was Memorial Day, so I didn't work. It was family day for us.
Sure. Yeah.
And tomorrow is another content day here, but for the business. And then Thursday and Friday, it's like I get a day and a half of studio time.
That's cool.
And like, it's cool, but I feel as though on the inside of me, it's like as a music producer full time, as part of my job, I should probably get more than a day and a half a week for studio time.
You'd be surprised. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that this path is an interesting one, and it doesn't look the same for any two people.
Sure.
That's the first thing that you got to remind yourself. I remind myself of that all the time. That's that imposter syndrome that I think peeks in every now and then.
Sure.
And like, when I was working on just like a bunch of band sessions back in like 2015, when I was doing like the majority of like my session work before I moved over to more mixing and post-production, like I would do a session twice a week, but that would still keep me busy for like 100% of my time.
Well, yeah, because you're doing all the full production post work.
Exactly.
And the mixing and the it makes sense.
And and I also think that like, God, I wish that I would have started creating content back then.
Yeah. So that the ball would have been moving by now, so that it could have been. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because I have my personal channel. I've been slowly working on it and trying to figure out more so. You are like me. You have many things that you enjoy.
Very
vast amounts of things. And YouTube does not like that. So I'm trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out the thing that like I enjoy both talking about making and that YouTube likes.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. The whole like niche down thing, like niching down, niching up, all that kind of stuff.
Well, and I'm trying not to do that too early. I think that's the key. I'm trying to like try a bunch of things first.
Sure.
Because I won't know if I like making a challenge video versus a tech review or whatever kind of thing. If I don't do all of those things first.
Yeah, I think that's key.
And then like, okay, I liked doing these things. How did those things actually perform? Like, let's look at those aspects as well, and then like kind of make that decision based on those things.
Yeah, I think, God, I forget who it was said this, but some social media guru somewhere.
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah, but it was like
one of the ones, and
they're very muscular and very successful. Sure. Of course.
Always.
It's just steady diet of beef jerky and testosterone, and also has great advice, apparently. Who is this person that I'm talking about? Okay, so he was like, all you got to do is to create content, figure out what content works well for you and your platform and your audience and your brand, and then just repeat.
That's Alex Ramosi.
Is that who it is?
I think it was Alex Ramosi. Yeah.
It makes sense. That fits the description. I was like, he eats beef jerky and testosterone. Yeah, it sounds
long
like
hair,
it.
big beard, jacked out of his mind.
Probably
makes billions of dollars a year. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I don't remember the exact person, but I trust you on that.
Described probably like 5 or 6 of them.
I was gonna say it's hard to keep them straight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with that take.
No,
because like honestly, on my channel, like the first video that took off was a tier list video.
Yeah.
Something I did not think anyone would care about. A lot of people cared about it.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. And then after that, I like immediately was like, all right, I'm just going to respond to some comments because this is crazy discussion.
Yeah.
You guys need to calm down. And I made that video. That one did well. And then I was like, okay, so make content people like and repeat. And I was like, well, let me try just a few different things. And then that is where I've found like a couple of the recurring segments that I've had. So I do tier lists on a pretty consistent basis.
Sure.
Although I've gotten away from them a little bit, just looking for other stuff to do. And then doing the overrated, underrated series, which is really just a stolen idea from Gary Vee.
Yeah.
But it works incredibly well.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like what we were talking about is also as YouTube continues to broaden, we've kind of gotten away, and at least I've seen it a lot less, and it could also be my algorithm is feeding me the people who do this a lot less.
Sure.
But I feel like we've gotten a lot away from the shill content.
I think people have gotten away from the shill content. I still see the
I
shill
don't
content.
see it really at all.
Yeah. And
maybe that's just the people that I pay attention to. That's just the people that I pay attention to, like in socials, and so the algorithm doesn't feed me that type of stuff.
Sure.
But like, I'm not seeing a lot of like, this microphone is the greatest microphone of all time, and it's gonna be the thing to change your productions forever and get you a Grammy.
Get you a Grammy. Listen, you buy a $5,000 mic, it better get you a Grammy. Or maybe 10 grand. I don't know how much a Grammy's worth. Yeah. But anyways, like, God, the gear conversation's always one of those weird ones. Anyways, that's a different thing. Before we branch off to that, let's focus on this. So I think you're absolutely right. I think that those voices are getting a little bit quieter. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I don't think that every single vocal needs a very narrow, notched out cue at 600 hertz that fixes all problems or whatever it is, right? Or this plugin will solve your problems. Like, people are tired of hearing that.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why they're tired of it is because people bought into that a lot and probably spent way too much money on stuff like that. And so they're very sensitive to being sold something at this point in time.
I feel like people's BS meter is like way more fine-tuned.
I would say it's oversensitive at this point.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
I would argue, yeah, I would actually agree with that, because like sometimes I'll see something that I think initially is going to go a certain direction, and then it ends up not being that.
It's like, I think people are hypersensitive to it. And again, it's like people don't have as much money as they used to. It's just like a general economy thing. But it's also, if you are in the music production place.
The K
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know. It's
frustrating.
Crazy. Yeah. But like, you see all these people that have been sold plugins that have made big promises, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's kind of started a little bit with like UAD. They're one of the first pioneers of like, hey, we're going to give you an 1176 and a plugin. You just have to buy our interfaces to run it, you know? And then they did native and all that kind of stuff. And then every other company, they're now like, the digital clone market thing exploded. And now there's like AI integrated plugins and
that will read signals and suggest
make
cuts.
decisions for you, which is, I feel weird about that.
Strange.
Like, it's like, you know what? Let's give this up to the robots. That couldn't go wrong.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't sound the exact same as everything else.
It couldn't create homogeny.
It couldn't possibly.
Yeah.
What? There's a problem with this?
Yeah.
And then like, you know, you got the Soothes and all these other plugins and things like that. And people have spent at this point thousands and thousands of dollars on something they cannot resell.
Yeah.
Something that
can't even be traded to somebody else.
Can't be traded. Something that might not work on your new computer. You might lose that plugin if you lose your iLock license or your login info.
I lose those plugins if I forget they exist because of all of the plugins that are in my computer.
I've had to rebuy Waves plugins for, well, 2 reasons. Number one, sometimes they update a plugin and make you rebuy it, which is shady. And then
don't get me started on Waves.
I was going to say, and then number 2, I'll forget about a Waves plugin that I use, and then one day I'll need it, and I'll be like, oh, where was it? Oh, I can't find it. Oh, I should email Waves. Oh, I just have to re-download it. Okay. Yeah.
Don't get me started with Waves.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's like those kind of things. And I'm not here to just like trash talk plugins or digital music production.
But it is the fact of like, I feel like this is kind of split into a twofold conversation, which is like on one hand, the Shiller market has kind of died down significantly because people have smelled the BS, maybe taken it and realized it's BS and been like, well, never listening to that person again.
Exactly.
Or they do it 3 times in a row and then they're like, I'm definitely never listening to this person again.
And there is a little footnote to this before we move on to the other side of that conversation, which is people love gear. And that's okay.
No, that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. Like, I will talk about microphones that I genuinely love and enjoy. And if other people will love and enjoy them too, then I'm over the moon.
Dude, microphones are sick.
They can be
Gear
fun.
Is dope.
Gear is fun. And it's like, and a lot of the people that are like, oh, you're just talking about, don't take an ethical stance. It's not an ethical thing.
Yeah.
Just enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's just having fun.
But with that being said, since they are hypersensitive to being sold something, they are looking for advice on gear, but they don't want it to be from the place of like, I need you to buy this.
Yeah.
And so they're hypersensitive. And so anytime that I make a video and I'm like, hey, I really like to use this microphone, here's me using it on a drum kit. And then people see that, there is the hypersensitivity side of people that are like, you're just trying to sell me something. And I'm like, nope. And then there's people on the other side which are just appreciative of it, which is good.
Which is a beautiful thing. But then there's also the other side of this, of what you were talking about, where I feel like the clone market is also dying out.
I hope.
I hope so. At least I am seeing in more recent years more interesting plugins.
Okay. So a fun story on the clone market real quick.
Yeah.
So one of the first studios that I worked at in Dallas, it's not even around anymore, but like the studio owner used to get like phone calls from guys that would make, whatever gear, and they would want them to check it out and that kind of thing. You know how it goes, right?
Yeah,
so there was this one guy that came in and was telling us all about a U87 clone that he had made. He had a slang term that he used with us, the runners and the interns and the assistant engineers and stuff, for every time that he got approached with another U87 clone, and it was Nafu, and it was not another fucking U87 clone. And
that's funny.
Which is how common it was, and that was back in the day.
That was what, 20 years ago?
Maybe less, like probably
15,
16, 17, something like that, maybe even less than that. But
still.
Something like that,
yeah.
And so to go from that, where it was like already a prominent thing, to now,
that's crazy.
Oh my God.
And the plugin manufacturers are in. Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm seeing the change. I think the clone market is still pretty heavily viable in the hardware market.
I think so.
But I'm seeing it less and less in the software market because it's kind of like it's been perfected in a couple places.
It's gotten, I think, probably
as close as it's going to be.
That is potentially a hot take, and I'm willing to take it. It's something that I've been kind of like inching up the bravery to say, but it's how I feel, which is like, I feel like we are seeing as good as certain designs of plugins can get. I think we're there.
We got distressor really fast.
Distressor really fast. I also think that there is a difference between hardware distressor and plugin distressor, for sure.
Well,
notice how I said difference and not one was better.
The distortion aspect of it, on the hardware will react naturally differently because of the circuitry. Like it's
because
just
of the
going,
circuitry and the dynamics and everything.
how you
of
feed it
course.
in and out, and like especially things that like a 1176 and those kind of things where
Right.
it's you have an in and an out knob and things are being fed in and it reacts to the in and you dial it in on the out.
Absolutely.
Those things will always react differently on a hardware model than they will on a software model.
Of course.
But notice we said differently, not better.
Exactly,
Not
because
better.
they all have pros and cons.
Yes.
And your plugins are also useful.
Well, and they're yes.
Listen, Anthony, calm down. I don't know an Anthony actually, but yeah.
Yeah.
But like that is kind of the thing. And and again, I think a lot of the exhaustion of like the shill market comes from a lot of really big promises in the digital realm.
Yeah.
You don't need a 1073. Here's a plugin. Now you're the smart shopper. You wouldn't spend thousands of unnecessary dollars on this hardware.
Yeah.
No, you spent hundreds of unnecessary dollars on this plugin.
And then you buy 7 of them.
And then you buy 4 other kinds. And now, well, you've probably spent as much as maybe that guy did on his, 1073.
Used one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets messy. Yeah.
Whatever. No, I feel like it's an interesting thing. I'm seeing some really interesting plugins come out that are doing interesting stuff, and especially in like
Indeed.
the Clipper market. Like those kind of things are pretty interesting. The Black Salt Audio stuff has been really, really cool.
I don't even know Black Saw audio. I need to like honestly.
It's really good.
Here's my world of plugins right now.
Yeah.
I've got like, and this is usually my advice for people who are like building up their plugin collection. Find like the types of like EQs and the types of compressors that you want to use most regularly.
Yeah.
Find one that you like a lot, and then never look for that plugin again.
Yeah, or
You will solve
become
your
a
problem.
master, or become a master at that.
Exactly.
plugin. Yeah.
Like, oh, I need an optical LA2A
Compressor.
style
Yeah.
compressor. Then okay, like go find your favorite optical style compressor
Okay.
that you like for that kind of thing.
Right now, what is yours?
Probably UAD LA2A.
Which one? If it's a plugin.
Okay, so there's 2 different ones that I like a lot. So I like
exactly.
Okay.
This is how it is every
Dang.
single time.
You
which
got
is,
me.
Which is
Yeah.
use case.
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
like 3 that I like. Yeah.
Okay, so
Continue.
LA2A gray.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. Okay, so the weird
UAD LA2A gray.
LA2A gray. The silver version, there's something that happens in the high end that I just don't agree with
agree with
much. And then the LA2, which is different. And I think it's in their like LA2A collection or whatever it is. But the LA2, it's slower, it's gushier, it's got a smoother top end to it.
It's more like the manly massive passive.
It's almost very
Or not
mu.
massive passive.
Yeah,
Very
it's,
mu. Yeah.
it's almost very mu in the compression envelope.
Yeah, where it's
but
like
it's
really weird.
it's like you can do some fun stuff with it. But I don't know if it is optical or if it is very mu. But I think it's optical. But anyways, that one is really good on a lot of other stuff. Slower, sweeter, softer vocals. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Brings
god,
out the
it's so
lushness
good.
of everything.
Lushness,
Yeah.
and then it allows the top end to kind of poke out and hang out on top of the vocal, as opposed to just kind of getting like
Mangled
grabbed
in.
and wrapped up
Yeah.
in it.
No, that makes sense.
If that does make sense to anyone, talking about audio is always it gets weird. But
no,
yeah,
I'm very much in the same pocket as well. Like I kind of just go with a UAD.
yeah, UAD
Like, they
makes,
made they kind of. I mean, they made the original, or they did the original.
Universal Audio as a company with their classics.
Yeah,
and
with the
stuff,
classics did the and like they kind of like just know they know that
Yeah.
it sounds so good.
And their 1176 plugin is also insane, and their distressors insane.
3As.
I love UAD compressors.
Yeah.
Like for plugins, I think UAD.
Me and
just
Josh
rocks it.
a while ago did a tier list of plugin companies, and I got all of the major ones and at that point there were less.
Yeah.
And UAD was one of our S tiers. I think it was
Yeah.
at the top of S tier.
And there's another one that I think deserves a shout out recently, which I've been using more of, which is SoftTube.
Yeah, I think
their stuff.
they're in A tier. The thing that brought it down from S tier to A tier is the cost.
Yeah, so their paid plugins are bananas.
Yeah. And the
Bananas.
UAD stuff is like way more affordable and they go on sale a lot.
Yeah, and you can also do like their
Bundles
subscription and stuff like that if you just want to try it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get caught up in the subscription models, but yeah.
No, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, and but yeah, the Softube stuff is really good, and they have like their free plugins.
They're great.
Way too good
Yeah.
for what they are. Their FET compressor and their opto compressor, both of those, like get me 95%
They have a
of the way.
saturator too that's really, really
The
good.
Softube saturator plugin is free, and that thing is insane. I use that every mix, probably.
Kick top in, bass top in, some vocal
on a
saturation for
bass.
sauce.
On a bass, it's so good.
Mwah.
Yeah. I did a fun thing with a bunch of like backup vocals. I just want to talk about this real quick, which is like,
no, go for it.
I threw a bunch of like these falsetto backup vocals that were like layered up. I threw the saturator on it way too much. And then like just a little bit of EQing, and it made those vocals sound like a theremin.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, a
so
little bit
good.
of chorusing and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah, it was so fun.
That's nice.
And it was like a horror punk song,
try
so I
that.
was
That's
like,
a really good idea.
yeah, it was really cool.
I was talking about subscription stuff. I've recently like tried to fully stave off subscriptions. I think the only
That's a
subscription
good
that
idea.
I have is Pro Tools.
Which
is
Tools, I have the Pro Tools subscription. Yeah, I'm annoyed because I just had to get back into Pro
I
Tools.
started buying my Slate plugins.
Yeah.
I went and found the ones that I used the most, which is honestly not that many.
Yeah.
And I went and bought them for like $300. Actually, it wasn't even that expensive.
They're not. Yeah. And that actually, we might just have a cheat code for the best way to move forward with plugins right there. Maybe you get the subscription for a little while to learn which ones you like a lot.
Yeah.
More than your 30-day trial, because I really don't feel like you can get to know it as well.
You need to probably do like I would
6
say
months, like
I
3 to
would say
6.
5 or 6 mixes.
Oh, okay.
5 or 6
I was going to say a few
projects.
months is what I was going to say. Like really getting to know them.
Well, yeah, depending on how fast you work, that could be
True.
that could be 5 or 6 months.
And like get to know those plugins, get to know which ones you like,
Yeah.
and then buy those plugins, cancel your subscription. It's going
Yeah.
to be a higher upfront cost, and you won't have like as much variety, but you also you might not need those other 58 plugins
You
that they have
won't.
in the bundle pack.
And you'll probably so like the 2As. I don't use the 2As from them. I actually use their distressor because they have one of the best distressors.
It is one of the best distressors.
It's so good. I have the UAD distressor for certain things, and I have the Slate distressor for vocals specifically.
There you go.
But bass guitar is always the UAD version of the distressor.
Interesting.
I love
Okay.
that one. It gets the distortion right for me.
Sure.
Which
Yeah,
I don't know why it's that one that does it right. But
Yeah.
for bass guitar, it gets that one right for some reason.
Sure.
Anyway, but yeah, it's like I have a couple EQs, the mic locker stuff,
Sure.
a couple compressors that it is mainly vocal centric.
There you go.
Because like I don't use the Slate stuff for anything other than vocals. Personally.
Yeah, I'm not a big Slate plugin guy. I've used their plugins before.
Sure.
They're fine. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
good. But yeah, I just haven't used them as much.
But I think you're right. I think this could be the cheat code for every company.
Yeah.
Which is like get the UAD subscription, get the subscriptions that you're interested in,
Whatever
that
it
you
is.
like their
Yeah.
plugins for, the Slate, the UAD, the Plugin Alliance, whatever thing, and go try out all the stuff. Try
Absolutely.
out the things, pick the things that you do, but everything with the Slate
to know it.
subscription,
Yeah.
get to know it super well, find the things that you like. I can guarantee you there's going to be like 5 things from each of those things that you like, and you can probably find them on sale at a specific time, and you could probably get them all for like $200 or $300.
Yeah, and like keep your eye out on like Black Friday, of course, and like everybody gives away a plugin like once or twice a year.
Sound Toys notoriously.
Sound Toys notoriously, UAD notoriously.
Yep.
Yeah, and like just watch it when they do that, because oftentimes it's a good plugin.
Well, and Slate and UAD will do the bundle thing where it's like, hey, pick 3 plugins, or they have like 3 or 4 plugins like pre-bundled or something like that for a cheaper cost. That's how I ended up getting mine so cheap.
There you go.
It's because the ones that I used outside of the distressor were bundled into like a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was able to get them for like $200, $300. It's
Sweet.
way better.
Yeah.
that was a big old section about plugins that I didn't expect to go into, but that's fun.
I don't talk about plugins that much. That's
I
fun.
know.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not really your thing. You're more of like the hardware guy.
Yeah. I mean, well, I do talk about plugins.
I know you
think
do,
that,
but it's like I think of you as the hardware guy.
Sure.
More so.
A lot of people do, which is interesting. But I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'll take
it's not
it.
a bad thing.
Yeah. No.
Hardware's fun. It's so fun.
You get to turn knobs.
Knobs, dude.
Knobs. And
Buttons to push.
When the knobs click. Oh, that's good stuff.
When they're stepped
strategically.
And they actually like function when they're stepped strategically.
Oh my God.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
There's not an in-between step missing that you're like frustrated with.
No. Yes.
That is a gift from the gods right there.
Indeed.
I would say, since you are kind of the hardware guy,
okay,
what is a piece of hardware gear that surprised you? Like, what are the ones that have surprised you the most when you've used it or shot them out or something like that? That you're like, whoa, this like is really either punching above its weight or not worth the cost, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be any variable and kind of those things of surprising you the most.
Yeah. And are we talking like specifically like outboard gear or mics or just
hardware in general?
Hardware in general. Okay. So there's a couple things. I'm going to shout these out, and I'm going to hope to not ruin the used market prices of these things.
Yeah.
Also, if you're selling one, don't be a dick. Just keep the price the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's one in the studio here. A DBX 160A.
Yeah.
Little 1U rack space.
Love it.
They are not character compressors, but
utility compressors like crazy.
Utility compressors, and I'm going to call it something, and I hope people understand what I say when I say this. It is a fidelity compressor. It has got exceptional fidelity. It does not change the character of the audio, but the audio will go through it and sound just as good on the other end as it did when it came in, and oftentimes a little bit better in certain areas.
It's also fast as crap.
It is also fast as crap.
And that's the drum thing.
Yeah.
Like it is.
And those are, they are great. When you want a compressor to do what a compressor does.
At like the very most version of like threshold down, fast attack.
Absolutely.
Quick release. Like,
and it's in general, it is hard to get a compressor for less than, I'm going to say $500.
Yeah, hardware.
That is hardware compressor that is really going to get use out of a studio in like a hybrid or a tracking situation or things like that.
There's very few pieces of gear, I would argue, in general that are worth buying for a lot of that.
I agree.
In a hybrid and or like front end primarily scenario.
I agree. And with the DBX compressor, again, I generally try to tell people like, clean is generally easy to get. So try to aim for character when you can. That is an exception to this rule. I think they sound great. And again, it's hard to get a better compressor under $500.
Agreed.
That's awesome. The other clean compressor that a lot of people talk about in that price range is the FMR Audio, the RNC, really nice compressor.
Yeah.
They're good. They're fine. I had the 500 series version of it, and again, was doing a lot of like spoken word and audiobooks and podcasts.
Yeah, I remember me and you talking about that before.
And it's like, it works great for that kind of stuff. And it does. The only thing I will say for music production with the FMR stuff, the low end blooms. Not always in a good way. Sometimes in a way that you're like, you put it on a bass and you go, whoa, that G is now gigantic with a capital G. And every other note is lowercase. Again, hoping that makes sense to people out there.
Makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense.
The Lindell Audio stuff is honestly really good for the price. The Lindell Audio makes the Lin 76. It's an 1176 compressor. Big complaint with that is that it's a wall wart power supply, and that can be noisy.
Sure.
If you put it in, it has to go directly into the wall. Otherwise, it can be noisy, which is just a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But sounds really good.
And for project studios, like, not going to be as big of a deal.
No, not at all. Warmer sounding 1176 compressor, really good like crackle on the top end. Custom transformer on the input and output, so it sounds really good.
So I'm leaning like indie folk.
Yes.
indie pop singer-songwriter.
Absolutely.
Like
I've
project
even-
studio for those kind of people, or maybe even like a darker punk sound,
Yes.
or like, or maybe even
70s
like jazz.
snare drum.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
70s, like just that thwack.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
Like that big, beefy, just smack kind of sound. It'll do that.
Yeah, I was thinking
Very
like a jazz, which I guess
classic.
would also like kind of fall
Yeah.
into that kind of category too. Yeah.
Yeah, very classic. It is not as fast or aggressive as a lot of other 1176s.
Gotcha.
It can be fast, but it still works great. I've used it on a ton of different vocals that don't need a ton of air on top. Snare drum works great.
Gotcha.
Guitar, it sounds great. I have a shootout between that and the UAD on my channel, and you can hear it for yourself.
I'm gonna have to watch that one.
Yeah.
because I've not used any of the Lindell stuff.
It's good. It really is. Their 500 series stuff is hit or miss.
Sure.
But the Lin 76, the Lin 2A, their LA 2A, it's like right on par with the Warm Audio, but it's a couple $100 cheaper. So that's kind of a nice thing.
That is nice.
And I've done an A/B shootout between the two, and I would be hard pressed for anyone to hear drastic differences if they A/B'd it themselves.
That's just them having.
Slight differences in compression envelope.
Oh, I was gonna say brainworms, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's But yeah, like quality wise, Lindell stuff is really good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've always kind of back to the original conversation of like gear kind of getting less expensive, but retaining a level of quality.
Yeah.
Like that was a big thing where I was like, I bet Andrew's gonna have like some
Oh my God.
some pieces that are like that kind of stood out in a really positive way.
I will purposefully not dive into preamps here because that would turn into hours upon hours of me ranting because I'm a big preamp guy.
Yeah, you are.
Huge preamp guy.
yeah.
I have a tier list on my channel. Go check out that tier list. There's plenty of preamps in the sub $700 range that I will say are phenomenal.
Have you done a sub $700 range preamp video?
Well, my overall tier list video.
Yeah, you just condense that down to one video. Dude.
Yeah, like here's the thing. Like
Repurpose content, baby.
Well, but here's the thing. I wanted to make sure that I had a few of the less expensive preamps in the same video as the more expensive to show people.
Oh, yeah.
Cappy, C-A-P-I.
Yeah.
Right up there with the original API. Right up there with Neve.
Yeah.
They are that good.
That's crazy.
And when you're like, is a $300 preamp really that good? Yes. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
It is.
That's really dope.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. So in your opinion, kind of talking about all this gear, if we're talking to somebody in like a project studio, a studio, so we're not talking about a hobbyist. We're talking about somebody who's like moving into taking themselves seriously, whether it's recording for themselves or recording for other people or all that kind of stuff. And they're like, I'm trying to save up money to invest in my setup.
Okay.
Give me your top 3 places of actually worth the investment.
Oh, God, this is really...
That's why I limited it to 3, because I know that it could be like everything, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Because I have my own 3. I'll give you those.
Do they
after
have
yours.
anything in their possession currently? Or are we just building from the ground up?
I mean, let's assume that like they're planning on... They had a hobbyist setup before.
Okay, so we're talking Focusrite of sorts.
Yeah, basic. Maybe
Rode
like,
T1 or something.
Yeah, let's say they had like, sub $100 microphone, sub $200 interface, and like a pair of monitors that are maybe $250. Like,
oh man, yeah, this is tough. Okay,
and that's like real basic hobbyist level, setup, and like, and their treatment in their room is maybe like a cloth on the side. You know what I'm saying? It's like the basic thing.
The room treatment conversation is always an interesting one.
I know.
And here's the deal.
It changes from year to year now, but
It
with
does.
some of that, with some new stuff.
New stuff. What's going on?
With like the Slate VSX option.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
and
the VSX. I need to try the VSX. I haven't tried it yet.
That'll be a topic of conversation if we can get our roundtable episode together today. That I feel like will be interesting. And that you can hear from the rest of us because we have differing opinions here at the studio.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's what I would do. I would, number one, listen to your space. Don't listen to your recordings in your space. Just listen to your space. Listen to yourself performing in your space and make your decision on room treatment based on that. Use your ears. Figure out if there are weirdnesses that you hear, pingy, back and forth, slapping a basketball type of echoes. Those are generally easy to treat.
Walk around your room and clap.
Sure, you got to do the thing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
This is a very dead room.
I was going to say, yeah, this room doesn't have much, nothing. But, but with that being said, like, well, there's a little floor to ceiling, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's minimal. Anyways, use your ears to determine if your room truly needs it. Because listen, like, the biggest mistakes I see people making with room treatment is like one of two. Number one, they're either just going to track vocals or a guitar, whatever it is, in their closet, and it's just going to sound boxy and weird. And that's because it sounds boxy and weird when you're in your closet.
Yep.
Get out of your closet. What are you doing?
Yeah. I've told a lot of people, I used to track in my closet, and I only did that twice because I had massive vocal issues whenever I went into the mix for those two projects particularly.
Sure.
I've never tracked in a closet since. In the same room with everyone. Also, I find it easier.
Closet
I find it easier as a producer
Yeah.
to coach produce if they're in the same room.
So, like when I was teaching at Media Tech, one of the first things that we would talk about with like acoustics and like acoustic engineering and stuff like that is your main culprits of room issues are going to be parallel walls, right? So if you've got just completely parallel walls and smaller rooms, those are kind of your two big culprits. And there's 1,000 footnotes, and I'm sure commenters will let me know. But like, generally speaking, if you're in a small room with parallel walls, such as a closet, you've got two things working against you. That's harder to treat than if you probably just exited the effing closet.
Well, if you notice our rooms here, they're way bigger and they're oddly shaped intentionally.
Exactly.
And they have higher ceilings, which most closets have shorter ceilings.
Exactly.
And also, they are physically like inside larger. With treatment on the inside of them.
Yeah. And the thing that a lot of people don't know is that when you're in small spaces like that, low mids build up a lot. And if you've got hanging clothes and you're like, oh, it'll act like treatment. Well, what it's actually going to do is just going to absorb high frequencies, and the low frequencies.
Because the clothes aren't thick enough.
Exactly. Yeah. And so the low frequencies are just going to build up more, and you're not going to have any high frequency to balance it. And now what you've got is a vocal that just sounds like somebody put a sock over your face.
Yeah.
And so it's like that and the chaotic eyeball, like get rid of that. I'm not a fan of those anyways. So get out of the closet and then enter your bedroom, living room, whatever it is. And if your room has a couch, a bed, desk, shelves, books, things like that, that will in and of itself help with room sounds and things like that. You may still have issues, but listen to your room. If your room does not sound crazy, and maybe you can do the thing that I used to say all of us did, but I learned this was hello thunder, not as common as I thought, which is you can grab a microphone stand, put it in the shape of a T, and drape a comforter or blanket over that stand.
Yeah, I feel like that's a DIY thing.
Very.
So like I did that.
Sure.
A lot of people I know did that.
Exactly.
And probably a lot of people in the DIY space that did that because that's what you come from. A lot of engineers don't know about that trick for some reason.
Well, yeah, you got to do that. It's the old, the Texas T. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, but like that is
the makeshift gobo is what I call it.
Exactly, it is a makeshift gobo. Is it perfect? No, it's not going to absorb frequencies below 400. Sure, but like it's gonna help. And ultimately, things that help are just things that help. So if that helps to save your budget by a few $1,000s, it's worth it. And
so number one, listen to your space.
Listen to your space. Invest in your room if it needs it, but don't rush to spend that money.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Sure. Number two.
Number two, if you can't hear what you're doing, you can't do anything. So monitors, you probably want to go from that $200 monitor to, I mean, everybody's got their own budget, but like just giving a couple shout outs, the Kali Ion 8s, Ion 5s are phenomenal for the price.
We talked about this earlier.
Yep.
Because I recently got some, and you can find them open box online.
Get some used.
People use.
Yeah.
You can find them online for like, I think I found mine for $750 for the pair.
Yep. The another
great.
inexpensive option, the iLoud MTMs
Mm-hmm.
are phenomenal. Like way too good.
I have not tried those.
So stupid good.
Yeah.
Stupid good. Adam Audio makes some good stuff for a pretty inexpensive price.
Yeah, you were big in the Adam Audio stuff for a long time.
Yeah, I was using the A series, the A7Vs. I still have my A7Vs. But yeah, so there's a lot of really good options for just like some near fields.
Yeah.
And use that as kind of the next stepping stone.
Sure.
Because now you're going to be able to hear yourself.
Yep. And clarity and separation and all that kind of
Clarity,
stuff as well.
separation, soundstage, depth. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
2.
And then,
So number 1, space. Number 2, monitoring.
yep. And now you can then make some more decisions because you can hear yourself and
Yep.
your room isn't garbage, which is, God, okay. This is
But where do
tricky.
you
So
go?
3.
So where do you go?
So that's
This
1 and
is-
2. So this is 3.
Yep. Where do you go? This is the entrapment of this question.
You are trapping me. Okay. Okay. I would, it's all about determining the weakest link.
Yep.
Right. And so for this particular conversation, God, if you've got a sub $100 microphone, there are not many that I've heard that I think are really worth their weight.
Yep.
The AT2020, legendary. Sure.
It's fine.
It's fine. You can record a hit song on it. That's true. I love how I'm like reassuring people in the camera.
It's fine.
Phineas
Calm down.
and Billie Eilish recorded Ocean Eyes, but
Sure.
it doesn't sound good. You know why? A hit song doesn't have to sound good. Those are two things. Don't conflate that separate issue.
Yeah.
Okay. AT2020, not great. NT1, maybe a little better. Still not phenomenal.
I've mixed some pretty decent songs on an NT1, but once again, like it's the song being good, not the NT1 being bad.
And God, it also just depends on the perspective and the budget and things like that. And you got to determine what that
Genre
is.
as well. I would say
Genre as well. 100%.
Because I think the NT1 stuff that I mixed that was really good was like hip hop stuff.
Yeah, it can work for that.
It works like very mid forward, so it kind of works for that kind of sound.
Yeah,
and then works for the voice as well.
God, somebody said this, and I haven't been able to ever forget it. The NT1 sounds like a budget U87 AI, and I was like, yeah,
that tracks.
Yeah, it kind of it points in that direction
for
anyways.
sure.
Okay, and then like there's some like SE microphones that are actually, I think, some of the best inexpensive microphones that I've heard. Again, talking about inexpensive microphones being great. So SE and Lewitt and all that kind of stuff. If you got something like that, you might not need to upgrade your mic just yet.
Yeah, true.
However, if you're rocking the AT2020, we just need you to let's go ahead and put that back in the case.
Bump that up. So go ahead and sell it.
I
Put that
think-
towards a nicer mic.
I think the sweet spot for a home studio microphone, this is my opinion, is the $500 to $1,500 range.
Okay.
I think that if you can find a good microphone in that range, it's going to cover a lot of your bases, your vocals, your
I feel like we've
acoustic guitars.
talked about a lot of these options already, though.
I think we sure have.
Like Loudon.
Loudon does a great job. LA220, that's inexpensive. Dockman Audio, I'm a huge fan of the Dockman Audio.
Yeah.
I use their D87, DA87 SE, which you can get that for $399. That's insane. That punch it sounds as good as some of the $1,000 mics I've got.
I would say this is my personal opinion. If you're needing to lean into, I need a pretty good mic, a good enough mic for vocals, but I also need to be able to track acoustics and like organic instruments. I know you haven't used it, but the T-Garden we talked about, I think the T-Garden is probably the best thing for any kind of organic instrumentation.
That thing looks so cool.
Ukuleles, acoustic guitars, mandolins, like that kind of stuff. It's amazing for those kind of things. And it's small. They're like $400 though. But when paired with like a Slate ML1, which now you can get used for like $300, just a good mic. I think
I've heard good things.
Yeah, you're punching at like $700-$800 for the combo.
Right.
That's kind of great. or TLM 102, you can kind of find for around, and you've used that before for
TLM 102
for acoustics.
For acoustics, yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, so like
vocals, yeah.
Well, but I got mine used for like $400 or $500.
You can pick them up used for pretty cheap. Also, careful on the used market. I also want to say that Neumann's, almost any Neumann mic, is now being massively counterfeited.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, dude!
I bought it from another studio guy I knew. So
I was gonna say, buy it from someone you know, and hopefully they can provide you with some sort of paper trail or trustworthy source. But like, it was like I've looked, and it really seems like about half of the used listings, if not more, are like fakes.
That's crazy.
Like AliExpress and Temu and stuff like that. And
I need a video from you on this because I didn't know this.
I will show you the TikTok I made about the fake TLM 49 I got.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I bought a TLM 49 for a phenomenal deal at $900, and it was a fake.
Oh my!
And I looked up how much it cost them to buy that fake one, $199.
Oh my!
So it's a business that people are into. They are buying fake Neumann microphones and then selling them on the used market as genuine.
Just straight lying about it. That's crazy.
And you'll look at the feedback, and it's like, and you'll notice because that person that's selling it is also sold 15 others recently. And they're like, in their description, they're like, I just don't use it that much anymore. And it's like, no, bullshit. Like, that's fake.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you had 15 TLM 49s in your home studio in Jackson, Mississippi.
And just not use it anymore.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
That's funny.
So careful with that.
Yes, I think the 102 is a really great option if you're needing something for like organic instrumentation. And
instrumentation.
And then it leans you to getting a different kind of mic for vocals.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of like, instead of going 1,000, 1,500 for a singular microphone, like get two.
Sure.
Because you never know which one might work for better options.
I would say, and again, this is kind of where that conversation of depends on the genre comes in.
Depends on the genre.
Because it's like, guys that are, doing hip hop stuff or, just like trying to produce pop vocals or whatever. Like, you probably want to put that all into like one
you just
mic.
want one thing.
Probably get a good tube mic and like you're probably set.
Yeah.
But if you are doing more instrumentation type stuff, you're
Loud and
recording
Atlantis.
Bands. Oh my God, that's a good shout out.
Loud and Atlantis.
Yeah,
and actually,
3 mics in one.
I'm going to be really honest. Loud and Atlantis might be the one for everything because it sounds great on acoustic.
Yeah.
It sounds great on, and if you're in that price range, like it might be $2,000. Like it might be
around 15.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It's somewhere, it's on the top end of that price range that we mentioned. And like, if you can eke out a 500 extra bucks to make that thing worth it, it is worth it.
And that is one of the things, like the bottom line is I believe that you should always invest in your front end.
Yes.
And that is something that has been lost or convoluted, or the conversation has kind of become cloudy because of all of the shilling and all of the crazy advice online. But ultimately, a good microphone into a good preamp is something that is almost impossible to just perfectly replicate in the digital world at the same level.
For sure.
It just is. And so ultimately, if you already have a good mic, and then I would probably lean towards a preamp. But then again, only if your interface could handle the preamp. Because the other footnote to that is some interfaces, they'll say mic/line on a combination jack, but that line input isn't actually bypassing the internal preamp. It's just a 20 dB pad on the built-in preamp. So you got to make sure that your interface can take an external preamp.
Yes, for sure.
So
I tend to lean towards, so I agree with, I'll give, because actually your 3 were my 3, so I'm going to give different 3.
Okay.
So I'm going to say if you had a different 3 in the same of room treatment, try the VSX. I think the VSX are really cool.
Okay.
I've used them. I think they're really, really awesome, especially if you're not mixing.
Okay.
It's kind of unnecessary for you to be able to hear everything if you're not mixing. If you're sending it out to a mix, you can hear well enough in the VSX headphone system.
Okay.
Because it is replicating rooms.
Okay.
So to get a good grasp on where you're actually tracking stuff at, you find the thing that you're doing. I think that it's a really good option. It's also, I'm thinking about in today's living climate.
Okay.
You don't necessarily want speakers blaring in an apartment.
Yeah.
So,
that's the thing.
Or if you have a significant other, makes it easier to work late, stuff like that. People that are working day jobs. So I kind of try to think about that too, like as another option. I think the VSX kind of fixes a lot of other issues, external problems of like having a monitoring system. So that's a really great option. So if you have that, I would go interface next. And then I would go microphone.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Respect. Yeah. I thought for a split second when you were like, since those were my three, I'm going to go way different. I was just like YOLO into a console. Or something.
No. It's just more of like, I feel like the monitoring thing is very good. I think it just depends. That's more of it depends on what you're trying to do.
It's one of those things. It's so
and also,
person to person
I will
dependent.
also say this. VSX are not for everybody.
Yeah.
Brad hates them.
Oh, really?
Brad hates them. Me and Jesse have mixed full albums on them.
Yeah.
So it's like it's all very like mixed bag. It really is dependent on you. So I say that with the big old asterisk of like, I am a person who has the option to do both.
Okay.
So take that with a grain of salt, if you will.
So I am curious about the VSX. So with your experience with the VSX, I'm just going to ask you to make me a recommendation.
Okay.
So I am someone who generally does not like room correction software.
Yes.
That has not been a thing that's ever agreed with me or my rooms. I've got a very well-balanced room. I know my room well. It's well treated. I've got Neumann monitors. I've got Gauss monitors. I've got Atom monitors. I know that room. I've got a sub. It's dialed in.
Yep.
VSX. Is it worth it for me?
So VSX is worth it for a couple of reasons. I really like it for external monitoring situations where it's like, I need to check this on a bunch of different sources.
Sure.
Instantly.
Okay.
Car, they have that. Different headphone options, they have that.
Do you
phone and like phone and live, because they have some live options as well based on like EDM clubs and like bigger clubs and stuff like that. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That there's also some hyped low end options too. So you can hear if your subs are distorting. So there's some things
That's interesting.
There's some things like that I'm like, I'm using them for a very specific way.
Okay.
For monitoring inside of that system.
I was going to say, do you find that they translate?
They can.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like, so I need to let you hear it, but I have a video where I did a mix with myself between my studio setup and my VSX and a MacBook Air setup. And I just made different decisions. But honestly, they ended up sounding similar.
Yeah.
And I ended up being,
I believe it.
It's weird. Like, it's just, because it's all at the end, it's all my ears.
That's interesting.
It's my ears and my brain making the decisions.
I've got to try
I use totally different plugins.
Yeah.
I ended up in almost the exact same spot, except the drums were a little bit more forward on one and the vocals were a little bit more forward on the other.
Interesting.
And that has to do with wearing headphones versus not wearing headphones.
And what were the monitors that you were using?
On the
for like your studio
ATCs.
Oh wow! So you were like actually using ATC monitors?
Not in my studio.
Oh, that's what I was asking.
Oh no! In my studio, they were HS7s.
Okay, the HS7s. Okay, interesting. So your drums? Do you feel like the drums were more forward, like in the transients?
Drums were more forward on the headphone mix.
Right. Well, like, but were the transients more forward, or was it just generally more percussion forward?
Generally more.
Okay.
Generally more. Like, so I could have probably brought it down like -5 or -1 on the drum bus, and it would have been like almost 1-to-1.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've got to try these out.
It's very interesting.
Infinitely curious.
Yeah, it's very cool. Highly recommend. I would say the best way to do it is to do like a song that you've already mixed, and then you remix that exact same song on a flat thing and with the VSX, and like see
I've got. Interestingly enough, I have a session that I pull up every time I get a pair of monitors to try out. I do exactly that. I'm I know exactly what this sounds like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So try that. I think it's super fun and it makes a good video.
Yeah.
Well. On that note, Andrew, thanks very much for coming to the podcast.
Oh my God.
You answered all my questions.
That's great.
We got a lot. We've been here for like an hour and a half, maybe. It does not feel like that.
No. Oh my God.
We started at 4 and it's 5:30.
Oh my God. If you're still watching, comment down below. This podcast used to be good.
Yeah. An hour and a half ago. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude, thanks for coming on.
Of course.
Thanks for visiting us here. I hope you and your wife enjoy town and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're hopefully, I think everybody's here still. We're hopefully going to be able to do another little fun thing that we're going to share between all of our channels. And I think it's going to be really, really cool. So we're going to get to that here in a second. But before that, hey, thanks, like, subscribe, do all that thing. Go follow Andrew, Andrew Chapman Creative on YouTube.
Yep.
He's probably tagged and stuff on the description. Andrew_Chapman_music on Instagram and Andrew_Chapman on TikTok.
Yep. I think you got it. I don't know my handles on other socials,
There
but
you go.
yeah, type my name in, you'll find it.
Like, subscribe, give Andrew some love. We'll see you guys on the next one. Love you. Bye.